What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, to the 30 viewers we got. I know I already did like a walkthrough of the car, and I just figured, so I have like a album on my Facebook. I know most of you probably aren't friends with me on Facebook, but I have an album of like all the progress of the car from what it was to what it is now. And I know you guys are probably thinking, oh man, he already did this was the last video. But I know there's a lot of people wondering. I have a few messages on my Instagram. If you haven't followed that, it's right here. But a lot of people were asking, you know, what parts, what did you do, how'd you do this? So I'm gonna try to give you as much as I can. And I figured I'd just make a slideshow with a voiceover. So here it is. So just wanted to show what the car looks like without 4 inches of dust on it. Cleans up pretty good for original paint, being a 93. Not a bad looking car at all. No show car, but not bad looking. That's the old setup right here. 331, Vortec V1 T-trim, meth injection. I did not do any of this work. This is how I bought it. So none of this work is mine. That's why, you know, it looks the way it does. The car also had a glide when I first bought it. That came out and the C4 went in. This was about March 7th, I think it was. We pulled the motor out. Everything went pretty smooth. That's pretty much when I started ordering some parts, trying to find a buyer for it. This was the C4 that I traded the glide for. Not a bad trans. It leaked a lot, but yeah, it was pretty solid. That's me and my dad unloading it, waiting for the new owner to pick it up. The car sat for about 2 months while I was collecting parts for it. I was just sitting out front, you know, trying to clean up some of the wiring, trying to get rid of everything that I didn't need. As you can see, I mean, it was a nightmare, a true disaster. This is the Vortec. It was actually in really good shape. It was pretty dirty, but it was in good shape. So there's a pretty funny story about me trying to sell the blower and the motor as a package deal. Somebody from Canada actually hit me up. Man, they were really interested in it. I thought they were catfishing me. I didn't believe it at all until they sent me a $1,000 deposit through PayPal. And he was, I'm trying to get down there, and it just, COVID was just starting, and they closed the border, so we couldn't get down. So I mean, it was just a big hassle. And then eventually, I was just like, look, man, I can't wait anymore. You either, pay the rest of the $5,000. Or I'll give you back the deposit and I'll find somebody else. I wasn't going to keep his deposit. It's not his fault. It's not my fault. I didn't want to keep the deposit. There was actually a moment where I was going to sell my roller and find another roller that had, more work already done than, what I was already going to do to it. This one had an 850 cage, chute, tubed front end, already set up for LS and glide. It already came with a turbo and a bunch of extra goodies. It was just a solid car, but once again, COVID happened, and I couldn't make my way to Connecticut from Maryland, which sucked because I really liked it. Started buying some parts here and there. I would sell some parts, buy some parts. I wanted to get as much as I could. That way, when it came time to start, I could just thrash on it. Picked up a pretty decent 4.8 from a good buddy of mine, straight from the machine shop. No runtime. It just sat in his garage for a little bit. That's what the rust is from. Brand new bearings all through, brand new hardware. The heads have been cleaned and gone through, new valves, Brian Tooley springs, pretty decent. Got the trans built from Bowie Transmissions, Wayne Bryant. There's some more parts. Mom's getting mad because I'm taking up the guest room. There's my favorite part that showed up, the Holley Terminator X. Got the Team Z Kirky seat brackets. I don't recommend them. I kind of wish I would have got the Racecraft like everybody else said, but I wanted to give these a try. Then it came time to put together the short block, get everything prepared. We got the LS2 timing chain, got the Melling 295 oil pump on it with the sloppy stage 2 in it. As you can see, all new hardware, real clean. I tried out the Holley 302-3 PAM. Everybody says you can't 60 foot with them, so we'll see. We got the timing cover on. painted it wrinkle black, whatever. Got the LS7 lifters in it with the LS9 gaskets with all the copper. Got the heads on with the China head studs, cranked to like 80 foot-pounds. Everything coming together. Got the truck manifolds, of course, gotta have them. Stock crank pulley as well. And that's where we test fit the janky hot side that I bought for $200. And we got it all put together, got it married to the trans, put it under the table until we were ready to drop it in. And this is me attempting to clean up this ghetto rigged up car. So here we are, trailering the car over to the shop, getting ready to put up on the lift. As you can see, I mean, it cleaned up as best as it would clean up. Got rid of all the stock computer stuff and all the unneeded wiring and everything under the hood. This is the stock K-member, springs, shocks, rack, and there's the new AJE K-member. Everybody talks bad about these, but I mean, it's a nice piece. It fit great, no problem at all. There's my eBay steering rack. There's the strange coils that came with the AJE K-member kit. So there we are, dropping the bullet in. I mean, this took like 5 minutes max. It fit in like it was supposed to be there from the factory. Everything, no modifications, everything fit perfect. I can't say how good this K-member is. Everybody says, you know, on LS Mustangs group on Facebook, oh, throw the AJE in the trash, get Team Z, get UPR. But guys, last weekend we put a UPR K-member kit on a coupe, and the fitment was so off. I mean, I pushed the wheel up like 2 inches to where you couldn't even turn it with skinnies without hitting the bumper and the fender. I mean, it's not always you get what you pay for, I'll just say that. It worked with the Team Z cross member for the TH400. I mean, in there, ready to go. And put her back on the trailer and took it back to my parents' house. First thing I did when I got there was I cut off that bent up rad support. I mean, that thing was horrible. And I paid the neighborhood guy down the street $20 to weld me on a new one. I mean, the welds aren't perfect, but let's just say that thing ain't going nowhere. Took the heater box out. I mean, who needs heat, right? I know I'll regret it one day, but it just looks a lot cleaner with it out, in my opinion. Got the motion steam vent kit, real nice piece. They say it doesn't work with the stock truck manifolds or LS manifolds, but if you bend it a little bit, it works just fine. Since I had some downtime, figured I'd throw on the $200 hot side. Well, this came off of a stock K-member car, so obviously you see the fitment's wrong. So I went on eBay, I bought a little T4 swivel adapter. Still wasn't right because the only way it lined up was like this, and there's no way that's gonna work. This is the dual pump setup brought to you by eBay parts. This is my brand new race stars that I bought like 3 years ago. It's what the clear coat turned into, which is fine. It's not an expensive wheel, but still. So I sent the wheels over to my buddy at Alloy Wheel Repair Services in Baltimore. He got them powder coated a Hyper Black, I believe that's the name. It's like a factory Lexus wheel color. It's pretty much the closest thing that I could get to black chrome. Then it was time to load the car up and get ready for the trip on down to Kyle's garage, where the car's currently been for the last 3 to 4 months or so. There's Kyle's 2JZ stick car over there. It's a Chrysler Conquest. He wasted no time getting the hot side started, told me to come down and check it out. Realized that the rad was going to be a clearance issue. There was no room to put the contour fans at all. So we had to tweak it a little more, get it right. But he got it to fit. And I told him, you know, I'm paying for this to be custom. I want it the way I want it. And I was pretty set on the turbo being there. Used the Monkey Fab flange, and that thing is nice. As you see, the hot side's tucked up real good. And no flex joints or anything. I don't think it'll be a problem. I bought some of the DEI, the same company that makes the heat wrap stuff. I got some of their high temp paint. That stuff turns out really good. Like, it's not like the regular barbecue paint that looks matte. This is more like a little gloss to it. I also put some on the compressor housing. It was the first time I rolled the car out in a few months because I was going to do some painting on the bay. This isn't a professional paint job by any means. It's just some duplicolor perfect match with my paint code. And I'm actually surprised. I mean, I showed like 2 or 3 people this and they were surprised. You know, that's rattle can paint? Like, yeah, turned out pretty good. I mean, you guys seen what the car used to look like, so I think anything would look better than that. I'm pretty happy with the product. So I rolled the car in, figured out might as well put on the freshly painted or coated hot side. I started putting the hot side on. Next thing you know, I'm in the hospital because I tore my hamstring doing it. You know, I'm 6'5", so bending down. So I could only do little things. You know, I couldn't do much. So I brought little man over as my helper. I know building a car and putting together something can be stressful and feel like it's taking over your life and all. But don't ever forget the important things in life.
Why not?
This is what's important. Spending time with your kids, your wife, your girlfriend, your family. That's what's really important. Cars, you know, they'll come and go. Families forever. So Kyle got started on the blow-off valve and the IET sensor. Since I was down, he also put together the cold side for me. I mean, I know it's got the couplers on it, but eventually it's going to be welded. So right now it'll work. He also started on the exhaust, 4-inch. Started on that. There's me trolling on Facebook, trying to be funny. We put the exhaust on, and right after, so well, I might as well throw on the radiator and see how that fits. Well, it didn't fit. I touched it. So I went on CX Racing and I ordered a 90-degree bend. And I got Kyle to weld that on there. Turned out good, it clears, but I don't know if it's going to be a problem with flow or anything, I'm not sure. This is a nightmare right here. I was getting ready to pay somebody any amount of money to go through this for me. This is all factory wiring. This isn't me. This isn't stuff added. This is all factory. So Kyle knew I was having a problem with this for like a week or two. I'm at work one day and he sends me this picture. He says, well, I got your lights working. All I wanted was my lights to work, my tail lights, brake lights, and blinkers. I didn't care about nothing else. So he knocked it out for me. I really appreciate that. He also cleaned up some of the wiring. I know it's not perfect, but it'll do. And it's just crazy how much wiring is in that car that's unnecessary. This is my Scott Rod Fab panels. If you have a FOXBODY, I highly recommend checking out their site. They have a panel or block-off plate for anything you can think of. Also got my catch can mounted up to it. All 10 AN lines. I have 2 passenger side valve covers on my car. So I use the oil cap adapter pieces on eBay that screw in and turns into 10 AN. So you can run your line straight from them. So I bought the whole 4-contour fan kit from LMR with the mounting brackets and everything. But as you can see, I can't afford to spare any room with the exhaust right there. So I ended up using the rad zip tie things off of eBay. They work pretty good. I regret not using the tubed front end because as you can see, I had to cut up this core support and the front end a lot. I mean, this Speedway rad was just nothing but problem. It's so thick, but I wanted something like that so I can street drive the car a lot. And as you can see, I had to cut the core support. But it fits good, it clears. It's close, but it clears. I got the steam vent kit hooked up to the radiator hoses. Even got a coolant overflow, you know, fancy stuff. I got a rad cover so you can't really see that the core support was cut up too bad. And also I started wiring the Holley Terminator X. Just the engine harness, I threw it through the firewall. So all that's hooked up, I just got to do a few grounds. While I was at it, I threw my bumper on. It's not bolted on, but it's on there just for looks. So I bought this hybrid composites 9-inch lower valance like a few months ago. And I don't know if I'm going to use it or not. Let me know what you guys think about it. I like it, but I don't like it sometimes. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. So that's pretty much where we're at. That's up to date. Right now, just kind of waiting on Kyle to finish the exhaust. I got 2 V-bands, so we're gonna have a bullhorn on one, and then the other one's just gonna be straight out so I can switch it up. Once that's done, we're gonna pull it down to the garage, and then it's gonna be time to take it to my dad's shop where we're gonna finish it up at. I got the transcooler to mount, I gotta measure for a drive shaft, finish the Holley wiring, and really just the rest of the wiring, all the fans, fuel pump stuff. I gotta do the fuel system still, which I already have the lines already made. But that's pretty much it. I'm hoping to have a first startup in like 2 weeks, maybe 3 if things don't go right. But as long as I get that exhaust finished, should be go time. I also just wanted to give a quick shout out to Boost Is My Friend on YouTube and Instagram. He commented on my last video saying some pretty cool stuff. I appreciate that. And go check out his channel. He's got a nice hatch too. LS, fuel tech, it's a big turbo. Nice car. He also has a lot of good content. I mean, he goes to the shop of one of the fastest stock block LS cars in the world. So definitely check him out for me. Other than that, I think that's going to wrap up this one. Sorry, it's not really exciting, but there was some people that asked, so I figured I'd give you guys what you wanted. Not to mention, I spent a good bit of time putting that together, which is fine, but I'm just throwing that out there. But until the next one, thanks for watching. For the 30 people, I appreciate every single one of y'all. Have a good one.